They said the Chargers' 2025 draft was going to be predictable, that we'd walk out of there with nothing to get excited about. But today, I'm telling you straight up, no way you make it through this video without getting chills. From breakout talents to picks that could flip the entire future of the franchise, every piece of news today is a punch straight through the old routine. And trust me, there's a twist coming that even the most optimistic fan didn't see coming. You ready to see how the Chargers are rewriting the script? Grab your seat, let's get straight into it because what's coming is way too big to ignore. When Colston Loveland got snatched up early by the Bears, it felt like the Chargers were about to walk out of the draft empty-handed at tight end. Frustration was thick. Fans started asking the question we all felt, now what? Who's going to be Justin Herbert's safety blanket? But that's when patience turned into pure gold. In the 5th round, pick 165, the Los Angeles Chargers grabbed Aronda Gadsden. And let me tell you, this might end up being the steal of the entire draft. Gadsden's not your classic tight end. He's actually a converted wide receiver. But when you see the size, 6'5", 240 pounds, and the hands on this dude, it's clear. We're not talking about just another player. This guy's an offensive weapon disguised as a tight end. Last season, 73 catches, 934 yards, 7 touchdowns. Numbers that crush what Loveland put up. Sure, Loveland played in the Big Ten, tougher competition than the ACC, but production is production, and Gadsden produced at an elite level. Now picture what that means for Herbert. With Gadsden on the field, there's no more need to force-feed Ladd McConkey. Dissly, who's never been a big-time receiver anyway, can stick to what he does best, blocking. The Chargers' passing game just got a whole lot more dynamic and unpredictable. And it doesn't stop there. Joe Hortiz also brought in Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith in this same draft class. Not to mention, there's a real shot Keenan Allen could come back in free agency. Look at the pieces stacking up. Herbert, who struggled with a stagnant offense the last few years, finally has real weapons to open up the field. And here's the kicker. As a 5th-round pick, Gadsden comes in without the monster pressure of a first-rounder. He can develop at his own pace, settle into Harbaugh's system, and become a crucial piece without getting burned out too early. The value the Chargers pulled here is almost laughable. How does a guy with this much upside fall to round 5? Who knows? Doesn't matter. He's ours now. And while some fans are still crying about missing out on Loveland, real Bolts fans need to look ahead. Because honestly, Gadsden might not just fill the gap, he might blow past everyone's expectations. And just when the buzz around Gadsden was starting to settle, the Chargers dropped another bomb, this time on the defensive side of the ball. With pick 125 in the 4th round, the Chargers snagged Kyle Kennard, the beast from South Carolina. And when I say beast, I'm not exaggerating. 6'4", 255 pounds, 5 sacks last season, SEC Defensive Player of the Year. This guy isn't just stats on a sheet. He's a force of nature. But hold up, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Kennard popped up on plenty of best available lists going into day 3. His upside is obvious. Explosion, wingspan, natural ability to find gaps. The issue? Sometimes he loses balance on first contact and needs to clean up his pass rush moves to avoid getting predictable at the pro level. But for a team like the Chargers, this gamble makes all the sense in the world. Losing Joey Bosa in free agency ripped a hole in the defense. Tuli Tuipulotu is going to have to take on a much bigger load, and let's be real. The rotation needed fresh blood. Kennard gives the Bolts exactly that. A guy with a sky-high ceiling, ready to be molded in Jesse Minter's aggressive defensive scheme. Right off the bat, he'll step into the rotation, especially if Khalil Mack, who might hang up his cleats after 2025, calls it a career. And check this out. Kennard fits the Chargers' scheme almost perfectly. He's built to play wide 9, lining up outside where he can maximize his explosion and length without getting bogged down fighting inside. Translation? He'll be doing what he does best, wreaking havoc. Plus, this move isn't just about right now. It's a smart build for the future. Raw talent meeting urgent need, that's a winning play. If things go right, in a couple of years, Kyle Kennard could be one of the cornerstones of this new Chargers defense. And honestly, it's been a long time since we've seen this kind of smart, strategic vision from the front office. But hang on. Keep your emotions in check because what's next? It's even wilder. Just when it felt like the dust was finally settling, the Chargers played another bold hand. This time with the kind of swing that separates good teams from teams chasing greatness. With pick 256, almost the final pick of the draft, the Bolts grabbed Trikweze Bridges, a cornerback out of Florida. At first glance, looked like a quiet move, end of draft depth. But the more you dig, the more it feels like something different is brewing here. Bridges is a guy who turns heads the second he walks onto the field. 6'2", 197 pounds, 45-40, size, speed, and aggression. If those tools get sharpened right, he's the kind of player that makes offensive coordinators lose sleep. And check the resume. 5 years at Oregon before transferring to Florida for his final college season. Even with just 1 year in the SEC, Bridges showed out. 70 tackles, 8 passes defended, 2 picks, 2 forced fumbles. That's not your typical late-round stat line. This is a dude who, for whatever reason, injuries, scheme changes, slipped through the cracks. But not past our scouting team. And here's where it gets really spicy. Jesse Minter, our new DC, has a rep for taking raw athletes and turning them into real-deal starters. If there's anyone who can polish Bridges' game, it's him. Sure, the Chargers' cornerback room is stacked. There's real competition for spots, little margin for error. But trust me, if Bridges brings the fight in camp and picks up the system fast, he's got a shot not just to make the roster, but to shock a lot of people. And let's be real, taking swings on high-upside athletes late in the draft, that's exactly the kind of winning mentality we've needed around here. No playing it safe, betting big when the payoff could be huge. Take a breath. Because the next move might just blow the roof off the future of the Chargers. What if I told you that even after the draft wrapped, the Chargers pulled off a move that could change the whole direction of the franchise? Yeah. When the dust barely settled, the front office jumped and signed DJ Uiagalelei. Yep, that DJ Uiagalelei. Former Clemson star, Oregon State and Florida State QB. A guy who once carried that 5-star label out of high school. And now, he's rocking the blue and gold behind the scenes in Los Angeles. This move hits way deeper than it looks on paper. DJ comes in as an undrafted free agent. But don't get it twisted. The raw tools are there. Big arm, big frame, big-time program experience. The problem's always been consistency. In college, he flashed moments of greatness but struggled to put it all together. Here with the Chargers, he's not coming in to save anything. He's coming in as a project, high risk, ridiculously high reward. And here's the bigger picture. Our QB room right now? Justin Herbert holding it down, obviously. But then you got Trey Lance, once a number 3 overall pick, trying to rebuild. Taylor Heineke, the battle-tested vet. And now DJ, with zero pressure, quietly developing in the shadows. Imagine this. A year or two down the line, with the right coaching and development, DJ could become one of the sneakiest valuable assets on this roster, as a reliable backup, a trade chip, whatever. And you know Harbaugh's fingerprints are all over this. The man knows how to coach quarterbacks. Wouldn't shock me at all if DJ ends up thriving under the radar, sharpening his game day after day in the right environment. Think about it. How many teams out there are stuck playing checkers, only thinking about today's starters? Meanwhile, the Chargers are playing chess, building layers, investing in tomorrow while fighting for today. Of course, none of it's guaranteed. DJ's got to put in the work, show real growth. But for the first time in a long time, it feels like this team is betting in the right places. And if all that didn't fire you up yet, buckle up, because the way it all ties together, it's bigger than any of us thought. When you step back and look at everything that's gone down these last few days, it's crystal clear. The Chargers aren't here to survive. They're here to take over. A reloaded offense, a rejuvenated defense, and a bold blueprint for the future of the franchise. This isn't just about 2025. This is about building a dynasty that starts now. So, you in, or still stuck doubting the moves? Drop your thoughts down below. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with every Bolts fan you know. Because our voice, it's what's going to lift this team higher.